exactly 25 minutes before 10 and making it in the world, all the way from this particular place called Ojuelegba, which is a lot like Alexandra, if you know what I mean. And he's talking about his story from there and coming out of where he is now. He's got an EP out, songs from the other side, and this happens to be a part of that collection. It is an awesome, awesome, awesome collection of music. We've heard some of the stuff that we've played.
Yes, I have.
From, yeah? So it is amazing.
And so too is his journey, his music journey as well. But right now we're talking about the journey of our main guest that's in the studio right now, Phillip Sithole, currently CEO of Durban Tourism and current acting deputy city manager. Qualifications in terms of his academia, a BA degree in economics and political science and a master degree on social policy. That's what he's got behind him.
Listen, there's a lot,
Right.
okay? There's a lot. We don't want to go through all of this stuff. All I can tell you is that we sebenzele lendawo la kuyo wamanje nje. Mr. Phillip Sithole, welcome to the show. How you doing?
No, I'm doing.
Yeah?
No, I'm fine.
You're awesome. I understand that you were in Pretoria just yesterday.
Yeah, no, yesterday we were in Pretoria. We were attending a workshop called by National Treasury,
Yeah.
discussing best ways of managing municipalities.
Well, you know, if you need any help, I'm right here. I'm sure we can, you know, assist in some way or another. Your journey, I mean, being where you are today, and you're now occupying two positions, and at least you're acting on one. That is, of course, the deputy city manager. Can you tell us a little bit about your story, your upbringing? You know, where you're from, what kind of life, you know, did you experience just leading up to where you are today?
Yeah, well, I think I'm old enough to talk about the period before 1994. Yeah, so I was born in a place called Inanda. Basically, it's a squatter camp in the north of Durban, next to Wamash. You can call it now a township because there are RTP houses. So I was born and bred there, and my mom still stays there with other members of the family. So I regard myself as a boy from that area, and it's my neighborhood. And then from there, I did my high school in the very same place, and the high school was in Kosnat High School. Then I went to university through the help of a Good Samaritan, and then I got my first degree. And I also did my second degree, which is a master's degree. But I started working in 1994, before elections. Elections were in April. I started working in February 1994 in an organization called Center for Community and Labor Studies, which was an institution created by labor movement to try and help communities around issues of development and local economic development. And from there I joined the eThekwini municipality, I think it was in year 2000. And I'm still with the municipality until now. So I've only worked for two organizations. I'm not jumping from one organization to another.
You are a loyal person
Yeah.
when given the job, and it seems to me, is it because you found what you wanted, or is it because you're just loyal,
Well,
or both?
It's both, and also the fact that, well, if you work for cities in South Africa today, you are working for institutions that would either bring the country down or take the country forward. So I think I'm in the right space.
So you are the CEO of Durban Tourism, and we can't deny how much Durban tourism is booming right now. So how did you and your team get Durban to where it is right now?
Well, unfortunately, Durban has been competing with places like Cape Town and Johannesburg, but I won't count Joburg because it's a commercial hub.
Yeah.
I would count Cape Town and PE. Those are our main competitors. And we had to find our own niche so that we can be able to compete with those cities. And secondly, we had to make sure that we are not only a destination for tourists that are within South Africa, but we are able to attract people from outside of South Africa, within the continent and also in Europe and the US. And as a result of that, we developed a strategy which is called Durban Tourism International Visitor Marketing Strategy, which talks about how do we attract foreign visitors to the city. And that was adopted, I think, like 3 years ago. But besides that, we, as I was saying, that we had to find our own good selling points, and we thought that eventing could be one of them. So that's why now, in terms of all major events in South Africa, those events take place in Durban.
Yeah, Durban is the go-to place.
Including your own event, Metro FM Awards, yes.
And that is that seems obviously it's going to continue because I mean everything has been going. That is tip top, really. I mean we've been doing this like for the last four years now with Durban and all is great. But what is it? What is the unique selling point with regards to Durban? I mean, Cape Town is almost, you know, you want to say similar, except of course the weather is different. Durban has better weather, if I'm not mistaken. Cape Town, it's a lot more unpredictable when it comes to weather, but you have the coastal area, and so does Durban. So what is the unique selling point with regards to Durban?
Well, I would say the people. I think that's our unique selling point. People would not have been coming to Durban if we did not have people who are receptive, people who understand that we are a tourist destination, and also the fact that Durban is a truly African city. I mean, we've got our own features when it comes to the history of South Africa and also our contributions as a city towards dismantling apartheid. So when it comes to history, culture and heritage, I think we are rich when it comes to that aspect. And also the fact that the city is a home of the Zulu nation, that appeals in terms of international tourists. If you talk about a certain battlefield areas, Sandlwane and other areas, in as much as they are not part of Durban, but Durban is within KwaZulu-Natal, so it's within few hours from Durban to those sites. And also the environment, places like the Berg, St. Lucia, and many other areas, in as much as they're not part of Durban, but it's a driving distance to those areas. And the latest developments in the north of Durban.
So you did mention that the people of KZN are important when it comes to tourism numbers. How do the people get to benefit from those numbers?
Well, we have done so many things. I mean, for example, all major events that we do, we make sure that, let's take Metro FM Awards as an example. It takes place at the ICC, but few days before the event, we do a lot of activations in the townships, in places that would not have benefited if we did not come up with a strategy on how do we disperse visitors to other areas. So, I mean, that's how they benefit. The second part would be jobs that comes with such events. Thirdly, it's about also sustaining jobs that are in the tourism space. And in terms of our artists, I think Durban, if it's not dominating, but it's up there in terms of people who are in the creative space and also artists. So if you're an artist and you're in Durban, I think you stand a better chance of making more ends in terms of events that we host almost every week.
All right, as we wrap up with Mr. Phillip Sithole, the CEO of Durban Tourism, as well as current acting deputy city manager, it is your journey. You are the one that is made, and this is why you're occupying such important spaces and spots. What is your philosophy in life, before we say bye? What is your philosophy in life? What do you live by? What words do you live by?
Well, I believe in fairness. I think if we can be fair in most of the things that we do, we would not have problems and challenges that we are facing as a country now. And I also believe that if you are a community worker, you must live by those standards and make sure that before you think for yourself, you must ensure that communities, more especially poor communities, also benefit in terms of major projects. Like now, Durban will be undertaking projects that are worth billions of rands, but the focus is on how do we bring on board poor communities and benefit from such major projects.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time and wish you all the best when it comes to all of the work that is ahead, especially with regards to all of these current situations that are taking place as far as
those ongoing events. May they grow larger and larger than they are right now. Before we let you go, because we often told to strike the balance between work and play, there's a big match happening this weekend. Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates. Who's your money on? Which one are you backing?
Well, I won't bet, but my team. My team is Kaizer Chiefs. So whether they win or lose, but I think they're a big brand in the country. Without them, there's no soccer.
Okay.
So it's like the other party that I won't mention. Without them, there are no news in South Africa.
Phillip Sithole, CEO, Durban Tourism and current acting deputy city manager. Thank you so much for your time, sir.